We got some drama. We got some drama going on in our professional basketball organization down there with our top player Jimmy Butler, and this whole trade sweepstakes. And I know you've been keeping up with it and all that. And for the viewers out there that haven't been keeping up with it, Jimmy Butler asked for a trade about a month and a half ago, and he's been kind of in his feelings about it. They haven't given him what he wants, so he started acting out. He got a 7 game suspension. He came back. He played 2 games. Started acting out. Didn't go to the team's flight on time, so there's a suspension for that. They suspended him 2 games, and then he came back and he was at practice, and then he found out that a role player was going to start over him. Coach Eric Spoelstra put Hayward Highsmith to start over him. So Jimmy Butler ran out of practice, was pissed off, and now he is suspended indefinitely, which would be probably to the trade deadline, which is next week, February 6th, on Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern. With all that going on, bro, how do you feel about this Jimmy Butler trade saga? Be
I
honest.
want this to end
Be
already and
honest.
go back to Heat. I want it to end already just because I want the Heat culture to remain how it was, and I think it's very, 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 very strong culture, and I love that shit. I think they, man, what brought the Heat to what they were, I love it, and I'll be always a Spoelstra fan. I'll always be I'll always be a Spoelstra. I think he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. I think he's a great coach. I think he gets guys that are role guys to be a lot better than what they should be. Um, yeah, I think he's done a great job. Now, talking about Jimmy, I I still remember when we traded for him. I told you, hey, don't like the trade. For me, he's not a superstar. I
Mm.
respect the shit out of his game. I think he's a fucking competitor. I think he plays the game hard. But for me, it was not an all-star type of player that I wanted the Heat to get. I think he is a great role player, and I think he will get into a team and be a great defensive guy, a great, you know, third guy to score. He's not a main scorer. Don't get me wrong, he can get you buckets on any given night, but it's a physical, it's like a, gritty 20 points. It's not
Yeah,
flawless
yeah.
like a Steph
Facts.
Curry 20 points or like it's a grinding 20 points for him.
Mm.
I respect the shit out of his game. I think he's a good player. Just I want him out. I never wanted him in the first place.
Mm.
So the quicker we get him out, the better our culture will start getting again, and maybe we start winning again.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that last part. That once he gets out, I think we're gonna transition into a team that really wants to play together and have that chemistry and move along, move forward. Just with the Jimmy drama right now, man. Like I see both sides to it, but I obviously lean more towards the Miami Heat side because there's never an individual that's always gonna take the team. Like it's all about the team success first, in my opinion. For me, than an individual accolade, like because I could have been said the same thing for Dwayne Wade, LeBron, Tim Hardaway,
Yeah.
Alonzo Mourning, Shaq. The list goes on and on. But with sticking with Jimmy, with the stuff that we know, and there hasn't been a lot of stuff said from him or his agent on why they feel that type of way and why he wants to get traded. But from the speculations that we know is that he's having trouble with the front office and right now with the head coach Eric Spoelstra, and he's been wanting bigger talent, tougher talent, very talented players to come to the Miami Heat for us to trade for them, which is why I understand his frustration there because we're not giving him the pieces to win when he's no, I'm not going to say single handedly taking us to 2 finals, but he has been the main piece on why we've gotten to those finals. So he's asking for help and we're not giving him to him in return. So I understand that aspect, but I don't like the way that he's going about it right now because to me, he's acting like a drama queen. Like you're getting $50 million a year. You only play 45 to 50 games a year because you're always injured. Like you're injured at least 3 times a year. So you're acting this sort of way because you want to get up out of here as quickly as possible. And he knows how to push Pat Riley's buttons and Eric Spoelstra's buttons because we see it unfolding right before our eyes. He's getting suspended 3 times. When Eric Spoelstra goes out there for a press conference, he's not acting the way that he acts, which is always calm and collected. Now he's like saying like little remarks here and there, and it's like, yo, that's not the Spo that we know. And it's like you said, it's better. It's gonna be better for us once this is over. It's gonna make us move forward and probably become a better team. But just with all of that, if he does end up getting traded, because there's a possibility that he stays with us, because there's teams out there
Yeah.
that are worried about his health and stuff like that. But if he does get traded, where do you think he ends up?
Tough question, but I mean, he definitely wants to go to a winning team. So
Mhm.
I can see him going to a Suns type of team, Warriors type of team, a team that needs a defender, a good piece, a good role player. I don't think he's gonna. If he does go to the Kings and we get Fox, that would be awesome for us. Do I see that happening? Maybe, maybe. I would love that. I would love that, but I don't see it happening. I don't see them wanting a Jimmy Butler at whatever age he is. Not washed by any means, but he's already declining in his career, let's say. So I see him going to a team that's winning already, Mavericks, Suns, a team that's in contention because he wants to win, and he's a good defender, like I said. So someone wants him to go defend in the playoffs. They want him.
Yeah. No, facts, facts. And I think those two teams that you hit, the Warriors and the Suns are pretty good destinations right there. From what I've been seeing though, is that the Warriors want to try to go more for Zach Levine because he's 29 years old. And yes, he's injury prone, just like Jimmy Butler, but his contract is less money, less years, or no, it's like 2, 3 years. I think so. It's probably one more year than Jimmy Butler's, but he's younger and it's less money. And it fits the times table of when Steph and Draymond leave. Because if Jimmy comes, he's 35 years old. Steph is like 36. Draymond's like 34. They're probably going to end their careers together in the same timetable, either with on
Yeah,
the same team or without each other. So
yeah,
they bring in Jimmy. It's just like you got to expect for them to try to win now. And obviously,
yeah.
the Golden State Warriors will probably be trying to win now, but they're thinking long term in the future would try to bring in Zach Levine because once Steph and Draymond leave, the franchise player is going to be Zach Levine. And then with the Suns, there
I'm a big
I've
fan of
read.
Zach Levine, by the way. Big fan.
Yeah, yeah. No, bro. Boy is a
Big fan.
baller. Baller,
Big
bro.
fan. Yeah.
Yeah. With the Suns, bro, I've read that they're backing up a little bit now, trying to get Jimmy just because of the fact that the Heat are basically they're not trying to take on the Bradley Beal contract because the Heat want to have open free market in 2026 to try to land a big player, a big fish. And Bradley Beal's contract goes to like 2028 or 2027, and getting like 40 plus $1 million a year. And it's like, that's another contract that we're going to take on that we don't really want like that when we know the Bradley Beal's not the same Bradley Beal that he was in the early Washington years or even in the mid Washington years. So
I agree with that.
for the Suns, they're going to have to give us a lot of picks if we're going to take on Bradley Beal, or if not, they're going to have to give us some players, picks, and compensation money for Jimmy Butler. And on top of that, the Suns are only going to have Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, and who else?
Yeah.
No one else really. No one's
Yeah.
going to be on the bench. They're not going to be able to play for anybody. So it's like
You're
it's
right.
tough, man. It's tough, but yeah, bro. I mean, but other than that, with the trades, obviously, I know that you don't want to keep him. I know that you would want to let him go, but let's say he does stay with us. How do you think that would work out? Do you think that he comes to his full mind and he's like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna just ball. I'm gonna just do what I gotta do everything right. And then when my contract clears up or when they decide to trade me, I'm out of here. Or do you think that he's gonna continue this drama shit?
Yeah, I think as a coach, my perspective is the second way. To be honest, I don't think he's gonna come back and I'm not gonna say try. I think he'll try, but I don't think he's gonna be a good teammate. I don't think he's gonna try to, have good camaraderie in the locker room. I think he's gonna practice, go home, get the bills. That's it. I don't think he's gonna try to like build a team culture. I don't think he's gonna hold people accountable like he used to. I just don't see it as a coach from the inside out. Like he's not gonna respect the coaches. Whatever the coaches tell him, he's not gonna fucking listen. He's gonna do his own shit, and he's gonna keep it rolling. At the end of the day, he's still making bread. He doesn't care
Yeah,
about that, and he's just gonna. In my opinion, I think he just keeps doing the same thing he's doing now, skipping practices. Because what is all this money doing to him? Nothing. If it was, he wouldn't be doing these things, you know. So money's not an issue right now, and I think if he comes back, he'll be doing the same shit. Probably get suspended again, and at that point, it's either like you're gonna have to trade him, or he's gonna what quit basketball. I don't think so.
yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I think you're right there. And then this just came up now on what you were saying because if you guys don't know, Kevin, he's a part of a D1 national championship team with his school, the Nova Southern Eastern University. Big time for the champ. So you've
Good
been
job.
a teammate in that winning culture, and you've been a coach in that winning culture. With what Jimmy's doing to his teammates, where we thought they were super cool, they're brothers, and I know he's come out and said after the first game of the 7 game suspension that he has played, he said that has nothing to do with the teammates in the locker room and it never will be, right? But we got to keep in mind that what he's doing to the organization, to the front office, and to the coaches is trickling down to the teammates, right? So
And
if you were his teammate and you saw what if one of your teammates was doing what he's doing and you guys are trying on the road to win a national championship, you obviously you don't know you're going to win it, but it's coming down later in the future that you have a chance to win a national championship. How would you feel in this situation and what would you have told?
I love what Kevin Love is doing. He's throwing like I don't know if you've kept up with
Yeah,
him, but he's throwing like little tweets out there, and they're hilarious, dude. So
yeah,
in my eyes, that's a good teammate right there. You know, he's not throwing him under the bus. He's low key funny, but low key trying him at the same time. I love that. In my eyes, I would have confronted him. I would have called him out. I would have hold a team practice, just the players, have a meeting. Yo, what's up? What can we do? We want you. What can we do better? Do you just want out? Like, just keep it real. Have a
yeah,
conversation because having a conversation is going to be the most important thing. And just see where he's at, dude. Because at the end of the day, you don't know if he's going through stuff like outside of basketball that's messing him up in basketball. So
yeah.
I would just talk to him heart to heart. And if you're a real teammate and you're a real boy and you guys have that culture, bro, you should be able to talk about absolutely everything. And that's how you get a winning culture, to be honest.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the way that I think they go about it. Already about it. And that's the way they have like, that is currently going crazy. And the only thing that you can do is really talk about it and see what you can do from there. Because if you don't talk about it and you're going out there just to play, that chemistry is gonna be there. The frustration is gonna be there. The anger is gonna come out. There's just gonna be a lot of bad things that are gonna be happening out on the court, and then it's gonna go off the court. So it's like
Exactly.
it's a double edged sword, bro. It's a double edged sword.
Yeah,
But
it's gonna be honestly, you hit it on the head right there because I went to a game against the Raptors this year, and there was a play, can't remember exactly what it was, but Jimmy like threw a lob pass from full court. The guy picked it, brought it back, and Jimmy just didn't even play defense. The guy got an easy bucket, and I was just like, man, like what is going on here? Like that doesn't look like they're getting along at all, the teammates, because like if that happens and I'm on the court, I'm telling his ass something because you don't do that.
yeah,
Hey, you just gave up a
facts.
turnover, get your ass back on D and press him, foul him,
Yep.
do whatever you gotta do. But like to give up an easy bucket and then like I just saw his body language so bad that day, and I think he had like 16 points that day. It was a grindy 16 points, and it was like more at the end. He was struggling in the first half, but it was just like his body language was really bad to his teammates. He was sitting by himself. Like I noticed all those things because as a coach, like I noticed that, and I don't know. He was just secluding himself. He was bad body language on the court. Just his I don't know, the way he was like engaging his teammates, it didn't seem like the old Jimmy was there. So, in my eyes, like we need to get rid of him.
Yeah, yeah, man. I mean, if he doesn't want to be with us, bro, hey, it is what it is. Thank you for what you've done for us, bro. Thank you for
Thank you.
the four Eastern uh conference appearances, the two
Yep.
NBA Finals appearances. It sucks that we didn't win one, but we have some winning seasons with him. But it is what it is. We got to move on, man. We got to do what's best for the
Keep it
organization, and
moving.
he's got to do what's best for him.
Exactly.